So now that everything fits together, we're going to glue it up. One thing to remember when you're gluing these is you do want to put the clamps across the top and bottom rail, and you only want to put glue on the tongue. You're not gluing the panel. We purposely cut the panel a little bit less in width for expansion contraction. This is 1/4 inch millimeter maple, so it's not going to move like solid wood might move. I cut the height, the exact length that I want it to be. I like to allow the side stiles to be a 1/2 inch longer so I can trim them off later, and hopefully we'll see that when we clamp it up. But that's how I feel safer to do it. Doing the pieces, I don't know where to put the glue on here, so I don't put the glue on the stile. I put on the rail. I squeeze a little bit of glue on there, squeeze some glue on there, and then if you have a brush, if you can brush that, get the end grain, get the edge grain, or the end grain of all of it, and do that to all the pieces. I try to cover everything so the door will stay together, and do both ends. When you clamp this together, you want to make sure that you don't over tighten it, because I've seen where the rails and stiles will bow and cause the door to warp. So we want to snug this up and not over tighten it, and make sure that the material lays flat on the clamps is important. So I'm going to take this, I'm going to put this together. So I have a 1/4 inch hanging over. I'm going to slide the panel in there, and we'll slide the top rail in there. I'm going to go ahead and drop the other stile on here, and purposely let the frame hang over on each side. I'm going to clamp this in here. And typically I'll put a clamp across the top to pinch this to make sure that I maintain that 18 1/4 we're after, and then I'll put these clamps on and pull that in. So like I said, don't over tighten it, because if it buckles up, it doesn't remain flat, and you'll notice that on your cabinet. So just to pinch the top, which I feel is important, especially if you're making more than one door, and you want to make sure all the doors are the same height. Pinch that top first. That way we have the 18 1/2, 18 1/4 we were after. Put this straight across the rail. Make sure that lays flat on the clamp, and tighten that. Just snug it up. And then if you're doing multiple doors, you don't need this anymore because you have that measurement. And then we're going to let that sit and dry. I usually let it sit and dry overnight before we use it. And that's how we're going to make a shaker style door on the table saw. I think it's a simpler way of doing it without purchasing a bunch of tools.